Live from the Sports and Recreation Center on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching exclusive doubleheader coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. Today, on the day of the 7th annual Matt White alumni basketball game, the College of Staten Island will take on York College. A little bit different here this afternoon. It'll be the men up first, followed by the women at approximately 3 o'clock. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babusky along with Michael Cohn. And, you know, Mike, the CSI men's basketball team has been away for a while, 4 consecutive road games, but the Dolphins continue to play great basketball. They've won 8 in a row, and they're ready to get back in action right here on their home floor.
They've won 8 in a row. They've won all 4 of those road games. It started off with the game against Kane on Martin Luther King Day. They won that game by 10. And then back into conference against John Jay, CCNY, and Baruch, and had won all of those games. And in a couple of those instances, especially against CCNY and Baruch, they had to come back from early deficits to come back and win those games. And really, Mike, when you think about where this team is right now, 14-6 overall, 11-0 in conference, to win those kind of games, close games, tight games, where they have to come back and have to really put forth a big-time effort in the second half to win those games, those are great building blocks for a basketball team as you move towards the stretch run of the year and you start to get yourself ready for the tournament in February. You look at this schedule, Mike. After this game against York College, they got Meg Rivers and Hunter College after that. Last 2 games against Brooklyn and Lehman are the 2 big tests at the end of the season. CSI putting themselves in a great position for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you know, Mike, they really have. They've gone 11-0 in the conference now, and, you know, Frankie Schettino has really just been absolutely playing out of his mind, Mike, as of late. Schettino, you go back 2 games ago in that game against CCNY, Schettino was absolutely lights out in that game, scoring 43 points, in addition to picking up 9 rebounds and 4 assists on 12 of 22 shooting, and he was also 16-22 from the line as the Dolphins fought a very tough, red-hot CCNY team in that game, Mike, and ended up winning that game 78-74. And then, you know, he follows it up Wednesday night going into Baruch, a huge game for the Dolphins, a big swing game for them in the standings. And, you know, Schettino picks up 33 points in that game, Mike, on 10-19 shooting. Khalid Baum playing a good game as well, finishing 19 points, 6 of 11 shooting, and Eden Bracic, who, you know, was red hot early in that game, finishing with 16, and, you know, the Dolphins just playing red hot basketball, Mike.
Red hot, and, you know what, they're hitting everything right now. They're hitting their shots, they're hitting their field goals, but also making their free throws. In the game against Baruch, just for a case in point, they were 23 out of 30, but 22 out of 28 in the second half of that game from the charity stripe. And Frank Schettino, who, again, as I said during our alumni game, and I'll say it again, throughout this year has been one who's been somewhat inconsistent from the free-throw line, but has really picked it up in his last couple of games. Against Baruch was 12 out of 13 from the free-throw line. That was huge, and it will be.
So the alumni game, it was the black against the gray team here this afternoon. So We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of this afternoon's basketball game between the College of Staten Island and the York Cardinals. The Dolphins undefeated in CUNYAC play. They've won 8 in a row. They have not lost since the finals of the Tournament of Heroes back in 2016. So as the players are getting introduced onto the floor, why don't we bring you today's starting lineups? And here to bring you those lineups, my broadcast partner, Michael Cohn. Mike?
Thank you, Mike. And late now we'll get you the visiting team first, and that's York College, who is wearing the black and red jerseys today. Their starting lineup will feature Edwin Sainville wearing number 5, Ryan St. John wearing number 10, Larry Moore wearing number 13, Josh Perez wearing 15, and John Joseph wearing number 23. That is your starting 5 for the York College Cardinals. For the CSI Dolphins, wearing their white jerseys today, with the word Dolphins written across the chest in powder blue, numerals front and back in powder blue. Start off with Khalid Baum. He is wearing number 1. Number 3, Eden Bracic. Number 4, Frank Schettino. Number 21, Kevion Murphy. And number 31, Robert Rossner.
Dan, you know, Mike, we mentioned earlier that Frankie Schettino has been red hot for the Dolphins, and you know, in the last 2 conference games against CCNY and Baruch College, you know, he's really been playing unbelievably well. He set the CSI record in assists here earlier this season, Mike, and in his senior year, Schettino is really playing better and better for the CSI Dolphins.
Right now, he's second in the nation in assists, 8.8 assists per game, and you know, he also had 2 triple-doubles this year. That is an NCAA record of Division III. He scored 43 points a couple of days ago, as you mentioned, and that's tied a career high. So he's really been lights out throughout for really the better part of the last 3 weeks now for CSI. And if the Dolphins are going to make a big run here at the stretch run of the season and through the tournament in the CUNYAC, Frank Schettino is going to play a major role in doing so. Yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Mike. And the College of Staten Island getting ready to come out on their home floor for the first time in 2 weeks, Mike. And I'm sure the Dolphins looking for a big game here this afternoon, as they've been a red-hot team of late, Mike, and a lot of home games to finish off the season.
Well, they're going to get 3 of their next 4, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, over at home. After this game, they will play Hunter College later on this week, and then next weekend they will get Medgar Evers, I should say, later on this week, then Hunter College next Saturday, and then in 2 weeks they'll get Lehman College here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, the regular season closing itself out here really quickly here, and you know, just a couple of weeks away from the CUNYAC tournament. Dolphins looking to maintain their number 1 seed, and you know, they're comfortably out in front, and we'll have a chance to talk to that in a little while. So the Dolphins control the opening tip, and it'll be Schettino for the Dolphins getting it up over to Rossiter. Rossiter bounce pass inside. He gets it up over to Baum. Now it's Murphy out by the top of the circle over to Rossiter. Good swarming defense here by the Cardinals to start the game as Murphy takes the ball inside. His shot is up, no good. And the Cardinals control the rebound, and it'll be Perez bringing the ball up across the midcourt line. Perez out by the 3-point line, looking to work on Rossiter. Now bounce pass goes inside to Moore. Moore, floater in the lane, is up and in.
Nice job by Moore to stay with Kevion Murphy, who did get his hand in as he tried to swat the ball away. Nice shot as he had to spin around him.
So Schettino with the basketball now. It's Cardinals taking early 2-0 lead. They work the ball in the corner to Bracic, and his 3-pointer is good. And Eden Bracic has also been playing very well for the Dolphins, Mike.
Yeah, Eden Bracic also very good from 3-point land. He has the most attempts. He has the most made 3-pointers, hitting at 37% on the year.
So it's now the Cardinals with the basketball as they feed it up over to Moore. Moore's floater in the lane is up, no good, and Baum grabs his first rebound for the Dolphins and hands off to Schettino. Schettino out by the 3-point line, crossover dribble. He feeds it to Rossiter, and his 3-pointer is good.
It's early exclamation point by the Dolphins. They fall behind early 2-0, and then 2 straight 3-pointers, one by Bracic and then by Rossiter. Very nicely set up by Schettino on the assist.
So the Dolphins on a 6-0 run, take a 6-2 lead, as that's going to be Joseph driving to the basket. That's no good. And now it's Schettino with the ball for the Dolphins. Schettino looking to crossover dribble, and now back the ball out and reset the offense for the Dolphins. Baum. Bracic Over to Murphy in the corner. Murphy's jumper from the baseline's off the back rim, no good. And Joseph grabs the rebound now for the Cardinals. Joseph, and now Sandville. Sandville been playing very well, just joining the Cardinals in after the intercession, and a nice move that time by Joseph, but he misses the layup, but grabs his own rebound. His shot over Murphy is up, no good. This time Murphy grabs the rebound, and now it's Schettino for the Dolphins. Beautiful look-away pass, and Murphy lays it up and in.
Can't do better than that with Schettino with a perfect look-away, as you just said, and a nice finish on the other end as the Dolphins now take a 6-point lead.
8-2, Dolphins in the lead now as Sandville with the ball. He hands off to St. John. St. John's first touch of the afternoon as he drives to the basket. He misses the layup, but he'll draw the foul. Yeah. That foul will be on Bracic. That'll be Eden's first. And it'll be a shooting foul, so it'll be Ryan St. John to go to the free throw line here for the Cardinals. Cardinals a 61% free throw shooting team, and St. John hits the first. That breaks an 8-0 Dolphin run and brings the Cardinals to within 5, 8-3.
And really, St. John's been their best free throw shooter. Only 39 attempts, but he's hit 33 of them. He's hit 84% on the year.
So a little bit of pressure put on in the backcourt, and it'll remain Dolphin basketball. York coming out, showing a press now. 8-4 the score. As the Cardinals look to trap in the backcourt, and Bracic to inbound for the Dolphins. So now it'll be Schettino bringing the ball up across the midcourt line as the Cardinals back up defensively. Schettino at the top of the key, feeds it up over to Bracic. Cross-court pass to Schettino. He drives baseline, feeds it back over to Murphy. Murphy, the floater in the lane is good. Kevon Murphy, his second basket. He has 4 points for the Dolphins. Kevon coming in, averaging 12.5 points a game for CSI. Really picking up offensively as now the Cardinals nearly turn it over. Now they do.
Nice steal there by Rossiter.
Schettino feeding it up over to Baum. His shot is up, no good. Dolphins try to get a little fancy on the play, and now the Cardinals come right back, and coming over is Murphy to swat the ball away beautifully. Schettino, crossover dribble, drives down the lane. His shot is up, no good. And the rebound grab by Moore, and here come the Cardinals running as Joseph takes it to the basket. He can't hit, but there to put the ball back up and in is Perez. 10-6, Dolphin lead is down to 4. 4 minutes into this first half. Schettino feeds it up over to Rossiter. Rossiter will lose the ball to Perez, will drive down the lane and lay it up and in.
Perez playing pretty well so far right now, leading the Cardinals with 4 points. He scored the last 2 buckets here for the Cardinals as they are now only down 2 points, 10-8.
Schettino with the ball out by the three-point line. Now it's Bracic. Bracic feeding the ball inside to Baum. Now it's Murphy. Murphy's jumper from just inside the free throw lane is no good. And here comes Sandville for the Cardinals. Sandville kicking the ball up into the corner now for St. John. Now it'll be Sandville. Sandville looking for a little bit of room. Now he gets the ball up over to Moore. Now takes the ball back. Working the ball in the corner. The long jumper is no good. And Schettino grabs his second rebound for the Dolphins. Schettino, bounce pass inside to Murphy. His shot is up, no good. And we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul called on Javon Murphy. So that will be his first, and the Dolphins will turn the ball over, so it will be Cardinal basketball.
I honestly thought that could have gone either way on that foul call. I mean, obviously Murphy does draw the foul, but he even called a defensive foul on that one as well.
Yeah, so Murphy not liking the call, a little bit frustrated as he goes to the bench after just 5 minutes of play. Pass cross court's going to be knocked away, but Sandville will go back to retrieve now for the Cardinals. As we're going to have a whistle, I think the shot clock reset, Mike. So 10-8 here early in the game. Dolphins jumped out to an 8-2 lead. Cardinals did do a nice job, Mike, coming right back.
And the Cardinals are doing a nice job to play some good defense. They have forced a couple of turnovers here by the Dolphins. Obviously get a foul to get the ball back, as they have a chance here to either tie or take the lead on this possession. And so far, you take a look at the shooting by the Cardinals. They're hitting at 30%. Perez is off to the best start right now. He's 2 for 2. Joseph, though, is taking the most shots. He's 0 for 5 right now for York.
Yeah, and York doing a good job on the glass, Mike, so far, out rebounding the Dolphins 7-4. So Cardinals with the basketball now, a chance to tie or take the lead as they work the ball inside to Moore. Moore's pass is going to be stolen away by Bracic. Bracic driving down the lane. Beautiful feedback to Baum, who lays it up and in.
And that's just perfectly timed right there by those two guys who do that every day in practice. Backwards pass to Baum, who's in the perfect spot to retrieve it and puts it in for the finish.
So it's going to be a 30-second, make it a full timeout. So we're going to step aside, take a break. 14:30 remaining here in the first half, I should say. Dolphins lead 12-8. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
We're back 5 minutes, 30 seconds into play here. Dolphins lead 12-8, Mike. It's been a good back and forth game here so far.
Very good back and forth. Physical starts so far. The Dolphins have hit at 50%. York is hitting at 30%, but as you said before, right now York playing very well in the glass. They've out-rebounded the Dolphins 7-4. So both teams playing a very close game. We just saw a nice finish, though, by Baum as he took the backwards pass for the finish. Right now, York on the charge. Yeah,
so the Dolphins try to press, and the long feed to Sandville, and he's able to lay it up and in. So Cardinals make it a one-possession game, 12-10. Bracic feeding it out over to Rossiter. Rossiter now will work the ball back up over to Bracic. Bracic lobs it into Baum. It goes off his hands, but a nice play by Rossiter to grab it. But his shot's going to be no good, out of bounds. Last touch by the Cardinals, so it will remain Dolphin basketball with 8 to shoot. Vinny DeCunto will check into the game for the Dolphins. He'll replace Bracic, as Bracic will go to the bench. He hit a three-pointer for 3 points. Schettino with the ball. Schettino crossover dribble, nearly loses possession. And it's going to be a turnover for the Dolphins on the shot clock violation. So CSI turns the ball over for the second time here this afternoon.
York's put a lot of pressure on CSI so far. They've been showing a press on both ends of the floor here defensively. And so far the Dolphins have had a hard time trying to answer to it.
So Jade Spencer into the game for the Dolphins is a feed inside, that time to a wide open Montefusco. And the Cardinals have tied it up at 12. Schettino. Now Rossiter, his pass inside is going to be kicked out of bounds by Perez, so it'll remain Dolphin basketball. (12-12) the score. These 13 minutes, 33 seconds as Murphy is able to lay it up and in. So Kavan makes his third basket of the game. That breaks a 4-0 run for the Cardinals, and the Dolphins retake a 14-12 lead. Sandville with the long three-pointer, and it's good, and that's going to give the Cardinals their first lead since a 2-0 lead here earlier in the game.
Ever since that 8-2 lead for CSI, it has been all Cardinals, as that is a nice answer there by Rossiter. Gives the Dolphins the lead back, but York has played much better since the start of this basketball game.
Dolphins regain a 1-point lead, 16-15, as Sandville looks to take the ball inside. He can't hit the shot, but the Cardinals get the ball back and get a fresh 30-second shot clock. Sandville, Shatino waiting to pick him up with 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Sandville working the ball up over in the corner to Joseph, and his long two-pointer is good.
Well, John Joseph, they talked about how he was one of these new players on this team who has been contributing a lot. That's a big two-pointer right there as the foul is called inside on Murphy.
Boy, that's
tough.
That's a tough call on Javon Murphy, as that was really a dive by the York Cardinal player, and I didn't think his feet were set anyway, Mike. So a tough call on Murphy. He's going to pick up his second, and with 12 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first half, Mike, the Dolphin leading scorer here this afternoon goes to the bench.
Well, we've seen already in this game in the first 8 minutes so far, we've seen York a couple of times sell some of these plays where their players hit the floor.
Yeah,
I don't want to call it flopping, but still.
Yeah, so it's Sandville with the basketball now. Sandville looking to work his way inside. The floater is up, no good. A fight for the rebound. Sandville there to grab it, and we're going to have a whistle and another foul on the Dolphins. So the Dolphins pick up their third team foul, and the Cardinals will inbound the basketball. So that foul will be on Spencer. That will be his first as the Cardinals throw the ball away. And they will turn the ball over for the third time this afternoon, Mike. It'll be Dolphin basketball.
Yeah, miscommunication there with Stainville. He was expected to be in position. He was not. Hence the turnover.
So DeCunto, Shatino out on the floor. Baum, Spencer, and Stephen Flagg here for the Dolphins. DeCunto, bounce pass goes up over to Flagg. Flagg looking to work his way inside. He works his way along the baseline, forces his way inside, and lays it up and in. Nice move by Flagg. Gives the Dolphins the lead.
Stephen Flagg with those 2 points gives the Dolphins the lead again at 18-17. Absolutely right, Mike. You hit it on the head by saying how well he did driving up the baseline to get that shot off. And that will be still Cardinal ball.
Ball tipped by the Dolphins, so it'll be Sandville with the basketball. Sandville, nice crossover move. His floater in the lane is no good. Ball tipped, and here comes Shatino, who turns it into a 3-on-1, who feeds DeCunto, who lays it up and in.
Nice transition there by the Dolphins. We haven't seen much of that for a while now. They much needed that as they take a 3-point lead.
Yeah, nice move by the Dolphins. They turned that into a 3-1 break. DeCunto got the layup for his first basket, and now we're going to have a whistle, and that's going to be an offensive foul called on the Cardinals. Sandville doesn't like the call on the play, Mike.
Yeah, it was an offensive foul. We've seen the officials blow whistle now 4 times so far today on offensive fouls on both sides. So they've kept it fairly even so far, although that is the first foul for York.
Shatino brings the ball up across the midcourt line here for the Dolphins. Sandville picks him up at the 3-point line. Now it's DeCunto. DeCunto feeding it up over to Spencer. Now it's Flagg. Flagg looking to work his way inside. He kicks it out to DeCunto, but it'll be off his hands. And the Dolphins turn it over once again, Mike. Their 5th turnover here this afternoon.
And that is really what kept York in this basketball game so far early on.
Dolphins coming into today's game averaging 15 turnovers a game, pick up their 5th. And it'll be Cardinal basketball now as it's Sandville. Cardinals working the ball inside. The floater in the lane by Moore is up, no good. Good play that time by the Cardinals, putting enough pressure on the Dolphins as the Dolphins touch it last. So it'll be a offensive rebound, and it'll remain Cardinal basketball. Cardinals with the basketball now as Brett Walker is checked into the game. And now it'll be Sandville. Sandville looking to use the Moore pick. He drives his way inside, but his shot is knocked away beautifully by Baum. It'll be a jump ball, and the possession arrow will remain with the Cardinals. 10 minutes, 17 seconds remaining here. First half, Dolphins leading 20-17. It's been a good one here at the Sports and Recreation Center. Sandville feeding it inside to Joseph. Nice play by DeCunto. as he knocks the ball away. And that was a tough break for Sandville that time. You got to kind of call the foul there, Mike. There's not really much else the official could do, but Sandville kind of just got knocked into and ended up committing the foul.
Yeah, it's going to be his second foul on the day so far. Dolphins get the ball back.
So Sandville picks up his second. That's the team's second, and now it's Schettino. Schettino pulls up, takes the jumper off the back rim, no good. And Joseph goes up high for the rebound and feeds it ahead to Sandville. Sandville low and up in the lane and lays it up and in. A beautiful move that time to make it a 1-point game. Sandville averaging 18 points. He's played just 7 games here for the Cardinals, as now it's Baum. Baum pulls up. The long jumper is good.
Dolphins, again, have not had too many of those big plays so far in the early part of this first half. That's a big shot right there for Baum as it gives the Dolphins a 3-point lead.
Baum averaging just under 14 points a game, as that outside jumper is up and in by Sandville. And Edwards starting to heat up now for the Cardinals. He's got 11 of their 21 points.
And that was an impressive shot as the Dolphins answer very quickly as Stephen Flagg hits a tray himself. It's now 24-21, but that was an impressive shot there for York. The shooter was off balance as he hit the shot.
4 big points off the bench by Flagg gives the Dolphins a 3-point lead once again. Moore jumper is short. Schettino comes away with the ball now for the Dolphins. Schettino, a beautiful lob to Baum. He feeds it back up over to Flagg, and his shot is knocked away beautifully, but it'll remain Dolphin basketball. 22 to shoot, and a couple of substitutions now for the Dolphins.
That was a good job by Baum. The pass was a little bit too high, so he had no choice but to try to, if he could, bounce it back to somebody else, almost like volleyball in a lot of ways. But Dolphins were unable to finish it off.
So Christian Taylor comes back into the game along with Bracic, and the Dolphins have the basketball and a 3-point lead. Schettino out at the 3-point line, crossover dribble. He pulls up, at his jumper from the free throw line extended is good. Schettino gets his first basket of the game, and the Dolphins now lead by 5. 26-21 the score as Sandville brings the ball across the midcourt line for the Cardinals. Now it's Joseph in the corner, guarded by Spencer. Joseph fighting his way inside. The shot is up, no good. Bracic goes up high to grab the rebound and feed it up over to Schettino. Schettino, now it's Taylor out behind the 3-point line. Taylor crossover dribble. Now it's Spencer up over to Schettino, as he'll bring the ball out now with 14 on the shot clock. Schettino, a beautiful feed to Spencer, who lays it up and in. 5th assist for Schettino here this afternoon. First basket for Spencer. Dolphins lead by 7, 28-21.
And with all that between the leg dribbling, it freed up Spencer underneath to make the bucket. Good job there by Schettino and to set it up for CSI.
Moore looking to back his way inside on Spencer that time, but instead he gets called for the travel.
That'll be the 5th. That will be the 5th turnover for York already. Both teams with 5 turnovers so far.
Dolphins in the middle of a 6-0 run here to take a 28-21 lead with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the first half.
It's their largest lead since it was 8-2.
As Schettino puts up the long jumper and buries it, and Schettino has just been playing better and better offensively.
He is, and after a slow start here earlier in this first half, he's starting to heat up now as we hit the final 7 minutes before halftime.
4 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists for Schettino already as the Dolphins open up a 9-0 lead, and the Cardinals turn the ball over once again. Their 7th turnover here in the first half, and the Dolphins have the ball and a 9-point lead. Bracic gets the ball up over to Taylor, as Taylor will bring the ball across the midcourt line, and Walker's waiting to pick him up for the Cardinals. Whistle and a foul way out on the outside that time. That'll be on Walker. That'll be his 3rd. And the Dolphins will get to inbound with a fresh 30-second shot clock. Feed inside to Baum. His shot in the lane is up, no good. And the rebound controlled by the Cardinals, and now it's Sandville. Sandville working his way inside among the big men, and he lays it up and in. Beautiful play by Sandville, and he's kept them in the game.
So right now, CSI with a 30-23 lead. Chatino bringing it down court. Gets the screen block from Baum. Passes it off to Taylor. Taylor for the three-pointer and hits it.
That's a big one there, Mike, as that makes it a 9-point lead.
So now 32-23. It's not a 3. It'll be a long 2. As York bringing it down court.
Yeah, Dolphins really turning up the defensive pressure that time, but forcing his way to the basket is Montefiusco, and he lays it up and in, and that makes it a 7-point game. Chatino, a beautiful speed to Spencer. He can't hit the layup, but he does draw the foul. So Jade Spencer will draw the foul, and that foul is going to be called on Joseph. That's going to be his first and the team's fourth. So Spencer will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Dolphins. Jade, a 70% free throw shooter, but he misses the first. Ryan St. John will check back into the game. He'll replace Brett Walker, as Spencer will go to the line for his second free throw, and that's up and no good, but a nice job by Baum to grab the offensive rebound.
Sets up a new shot clock for CSI out as well, a new possession.
Chatino out by the three-point line. Chatino pulls up, takes the long jumper, and buries the three-pointer, and Chatino starting to heat up, Mike, for the Dolphins.
Yeah, the back door was not open at all there with Baum, so Chatino just said, you know what, I'm just going to take the shot, and he banks it.
That time Sandville misses the shot, and here come the Dolphins. Chatino, a beautiful speed to Spencer, who lays it up and in, and that time head coach Nolan Adams has seen enough, and he's going to take a timeout as the Dolphins have exploded offensively, and they take their biggest lead of the game, 37-25, Mike, as the Dolphins have exploded here on York College, going on a 15-4 run to take a 12-point lead.
And they're playing very well, and even though Frank Chatino doesn't have all of the points that we've seen in recent games, still playing very well. Had a big jumper there with 8:33 to go. Had a nice three-pointer, and then sets it up with Jade Spencer, who hits a nice layup. As CSI has now built up a 12-point lead. CSI playing smart basketball so far against York, and also York having a hard time in keeping the basketball. They've turned it over, I believe, 7 or 8 times already here in this first half. There was a period of time where York was playing well, but that was a long time ago.
And, you know, Mike, it's really been the Frankie Chatino show once again for the Dolphins. He's hit his last 3 shots. He's already pulled in 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 7 points. And, you know, the team is playing very well, Mike. They're 17 of 26 from the field so far this afternoon, including 3 of 3 from the three-point line.
Really everything we've seen from CSI over at least their last 3 games, 3-4 games, where they have shot the ball extremely well, it has continued here in this first half, and York has just missed a number of shots. They've only hit 11 out of 26, and again, the turnovers are a major problem for York so far. Satanville's taken a number of shots. He's missed a number as well. Joseph's missed 6 out of his 7 shots, so when you miss those opportunities and you give a good team like CSI a chance, they're going to take advantage.
So it's going to be the Dolphins showing a little bit of a press in the backcourt off the inbounds, but they back right up. And now it'll be Perez bringing the ball across the midcourt line for the Cardinals. Perez out by the three-point line. Perez hands it off to Joseph. Joseph now back to Perez. Perez looking to spin his way inside. He nearly loses the handle, but a nice job by the Cardinals as they maintain the basketball, now with 8 to shoot. Sandville looking to dribble out behind the baseline. He travels inside. Might have gotten away with a travel, but he feeds it off to Joseph, who lays it up and in.
He was double-teamed all the way to the hoop.
Nice play that time by Sandville, breaking down the Dolphin defense as the shot clock was winding down to make it a 10-point game. But Chatino blows right by the Cardinal defense to lay it up and in. Chatino now with 9 points for the Dolphins, and their lead is back to 12 as it's Sandville with the ball once again. Sandville handing the ball out to Joseph. Joseph working his way inside, and his underhand layup is good. Cross-court pass that time is nearly knocked away, but it's going to go out of bounds, and it will be Dolphin basketball. As I'm not sure what the official is signaling now. So they are going to discuss it, though. So
I don't think the Dolphins know what's going on either.
And it's going to remain Cardinal basketball.
Tony Petosa not too crazy about that ruling, as he's letting the officials get an earful.
So the officials still discussing it over, but it does look like it's going to be Cardinal basketball. They're down 10 here, 39-29. So it will be Cardinal basketball, and York doing a nice job sticking in, Mike. Dolphins went on a bit of a run, but the Cardinals trying to stabilize the game, trailing by 10 with 4 minutes remaining in the first half as they get the ball to the basket, missed the layup, and Rosted is there to grab the rebound. Now Schettino over to Baum. His shot's knocked away nicely by the Cardinals, but their pass is stolen by Taylor, who's able to lay it up and in. So Cardinals forced the turnover, Mike, but then Taylor right there to get the ball back for the Dolphins.
And as a result, another timeout called. Again, the press a little bit too much for York College to handle here against CSI.
Yeah, Mike, and they've used several of their timeouts. That's the third timeout they're going to use here in the first half.
30-second timeout.
So it'll be a 30-second timeout. So let's keep it right here, Mike. 41-29 game. It's been a good, exciting game so far here this afternoon.
Yeah, very good. And again, the Dolphins just continue to shoot the basketball very well. Everybody in the lineup so far, starter and bench player, has contributed in some fashion. Of course, led by Frank Schettino with the 9 points and 7 assists, 5 boards. Really, the CSI playing good, solid defense as well on their end, as they have forced either a number of errant shots or also situations where York just does not feel comfortable at all bringing the ball down court.
Yeah, and Sandville shooting 5 of 10 from the floor. The rest of the Cardinal team so far, 8 of 19. And the Dolphins have a 12-point lead as Sandville brings the ball across the midcourt line. Sandville now handing the ball off to St. John, working against Taylor. Now it's Joseph. Joseph at the top of the key, looking to work his way inside. His shot is going to be no good. And it's going to be Schettino with the ball now for the Dolphins. Schettino back open to a wide-open Bracic, whose three-pointer is up off the rim and in. Biggest lead of the game for the Dolphins now, 15-44-29.
Well, that's when the good things are happening for you. When you take that kind of shot, it was a big three-point shot. And it looked initially it was going to rim out, but it finds a way to get back in.
Big answer that time by Sandville to keep the Cardinals within striking distance. It's 12, but a beautiful feed by Schettino to Baum, who lays it up and in as the Cardinals don't get back defensively, and Schettino and Baum make them pay. Sandville with the ball now for the Cardinals. He has 14 of their 32 points so far this afternoon. Sandville kicking the ball in the corner. Joseph did the open three-pointer and buries it. Now the Cardinals heating up from the outside. They're 3 of 4 from the three-point line. The Dolphins are 4 and 4 from the three-point line. Schettino banks it up and in. So Schettino misses his first 2 shots, Mike, and he's hit his last 5. He has 11 points for the Dolphins. That time, driving the ball to the basket is Perez. He misses the layup, but he'll draw the foul. What a first half of basketball, Mike. A lot of excitement here. 48-35 to score, high-scoring affair. And it will be now Perez to go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Cardinals.
Perez so far this season is a 27%. Or correction, actually a 37% free throw shooter this year. He has had his issues.
And he hits 1 of 2 as the Cardinals creep to within 12 now, 48-36. Inside of 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Big 2 minutes here, Mike, for both teams.
Really is. And that's a 3-point miss by Schettino. For the Dolphins, you want to finish strong here in the first half. For York, you're trying to turn this game around as they're still down double digits.
As the ball helter-skeltering around a little bit, but now it's Schettino. Schettino working the ball in the corner, and we're going to have a whistle, and it looks like it's going to be an offensive foul, and it will be. So that's the first Dolphin turnover in about at least 10 or 12 minutes, Mike. But a big turnover here for the Cardinals as they look to continue to close the gap. They've trailed by as many as 15. They're down 12, 48-36.
And they're calling a foul on Schettino. To be honest with you, I didn't see a foul. I just saw 3 Dolphin players collide into each other. There's 3 York players, rather, collide into each other.
So it'll be Perez with the basketball now as he gets the ball out over to Sandville. Oh, that was clearly a moving screen that time as Sandville's shot is up and in, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game, Mike. Yeah. Rossiter out by the three-point line as we have 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Schettino. Now it's Taylor over to Rossiter. Rossiter's jumper from the top of the key is no good, but a nice play that time by Bracic to tip it back to Taylor, and the Dolphins will get to reset. Taylor, nice crossover dribble. His long jumper is in.
Christian Taylor continues to shoot the ball very well. Right now it's 6 points. Nice fake as he sets up the three-point shot.
Yeah, he's 3-3 shooting here this afternoon. About a 10-second difference on the shot clock and the game clock. Monefusco trying to drive his way inside. He misses the shot, but he'll draw the foul. So Rossiter will pick up the foul. It will be his second, the 7th foul. And it'll be Monefusco to go to the free throw line. I believe it'll be a 2-shot foul, Mike.
Monefusco, 65% free throw shooter so far on the season.
As he misses the first, the Cardinals now 3 of 5 from the line here in the first half. Shot clock off, 25.7 seconds remaining till halftime.
And really dominant first half here by the Dolphins from the standpoint they've been able to hit their shots, playing good sound defense. York College having a hard time trying to keep pace so far against CSI as they lead by 11 with 20 seconds to go before the break.
So the Dolphins have an opportunity to hold to their last possession here. Let's see if they could do so as Schettino brings the ball up across the midcourt line.
He's looking for the screen. He's going to get it from Bracic.
Schettino now looks to take it to the basket. His jumper with 5 seconds remaining is no good, and taking the long three-pointer and not able to hit it will be Perez. So Dolphins can't hit in their last possession, but they'll go into halftime, Mike, with an 11-point lead.
11-point lead. Schettino leading the Dolphins and scoring with 11 points. Saintville leading York with 16, but CSI just dominant in all facets, especially defensively. They've done a nice job on the glass as well, and York just having a hard time controlling the basketball as they've turned it over 8 times going into the break.
So we're at halftime. The Dolphins leading by a score of 50-39. We're going to step aside. We're going to take a break here for a few minutes, and then we'll be back with halftime statistics and get you ready for the start of the second half as you're watching men's CUNYAC basketball coverage right here on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably put the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
We're back here at halftime where the College of Staten Island leads in this game by 11 by a score of 50-39. The College of Staten Island shooting nearly 64% in the first half, including 80% from the three-point line. Yet with all that offensive weaponry, for the Dolphins in the first half, Mike, York only trails by 11 at halftime.
Yeah, York did a nice job at the end of the first half. They closed out on a nice 9-6 run to end that first half as they trail by 11, 50-39. But really for CSI, what stands out for me, Mike, in that first half was one play. Frank Schettino, again, was outstanding. 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 11 points in that first half, as he was very dominant at times in this first half for CSI. Really everybody contributing in different fashions. Everybody has had at least one bucket. All but one has had about 2 buckets so far in that first half. So everyone playing very, very well for CSI. For York College, they've struggled on the glass. They've struggled offensively to kind of set some form of tempo offensively, as the Dolphins have done an outstanding job defensively. And that's really the difference in the game right now. Yeah, and, for the Cardinals in the first half, it's really been Edward Sandville, the offensive force, 16 points for the Cardinals on 7 of 12 shooting. And Jean Joseph finished with 9 points, so those 2 players had 25 of the 39 Cardinal points in the first half. And, excuse me, Mike, while we have a couple of minutes here, why don't we take a look at the CUNYAC standings here this afternoon, as the Dolphins coming in with an 11-0 record, Mike, and they're 3 wins ahead of their nearest, the second-place team, Baruch College, and the Dolphins have already beat them twice. So, in reality, the Dolphins have a 4-game lead on the field here, in their 12th game of the season. And after today, we'll have, 4 or 5 left to play. So there's a very good chance that CSI is going to get the top seed in the CUNYAC. But you want to continue to play good basketball here down the stretch, Mike. They do have games against Lehman. They do have a game against Lehman left on the schedule. Brooklyn, I know they've struggled this year, but you never want to take them for granted. They still have to play them again here at the end of the year. So some big games coming up here for CSI as they end the regular season and get ready for the tournament. Yeah, and 4 games in the CUNYAC conference here this afternoon. In addition to our game, all 3 o'clock starts for the men. Baruch College will be at home against CCNY here this afternoon, and John Jay will play Lehman College in the John Jay homecoming game. So, the Dolphins looking to cement their way into first place, Mike, and if they could get a win here this afternoon, I believe they will have put themselves in a position where they might have guaranteed themselves a spot in the top 2, and that's really what you want, Mike, because you want to be able to go directly to the Nat Holman Gymnasium, get right into the semifinals, and avoid having to play in those opening round games. It's so tough, those opening round games. We've seen in recent years the Dolphins go into an opening round game, ended up getting upset. So you really want to have an opportunity to put yourself in a position where you can go right into the semifinals and take on a team that's played maybe 1 or 2 very physical basketball games. Yeah, and that's really the key, Mike, and you mentioned it, and of course it was the Dolphins that lost to these same York Cardinals right here on this floor at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, and that's what happens in these tournaments, Mike. They're one and done, and there's no room for any error. So, certainly if you have an opportunity to bypass not 1 game but 2, it's something that you definitely want to take advantage of. Absolutely. So, like I said, all these games are very, very important here as you come down the stretch. Even though CSI right now with a comfortable lead in first place, you want to try to win them all if you can. Yeah, so it'll be the Dolphins getting ready to start the second half. They will have the first possession, and they lead by 11, 50-39 as Bracic inbounds the ball to Schettino, and we're underway here in the second half. Baum. Now it's Bracic out by the 3-point line. He lobs it out over to Rossiter as the Dolphins look to score here on their first possession. And Bracic takes it, catches and shoots, and hits his 3rd 3-pointer in a row here tonight, Mike. Well, he has had a great day so far, has Ian Bracic. Been money from downtown. And like I said before, as we came out of halftime, everybody's contributing in some fashion. So not just all Frank Schettino, everyone has done a great job so far. Yeah, and that time a nice play by the Cardinals to grab the offensive rebound and lay it back up and in, as the Dolphins now lead by 12, and it'll be Schettino getting the ball up over to Rossiter. Baum. Schettino working it out over to Bracic. He catches and shoots. He has his first miss of the game, but a nice job by the Dolphins to grab the offensive rebound. Rossiter looking to drive his way inside it. His floater in the lane is up, no good, but Kevon Murphy is there
to grab his third rebound of the game and lay it up and in.
That's a beautiful finish there by Murphy in the right spot at the right time.
And taking the ball right back is Perez, and he'll lay it up and in as both teams come out running and gunning. Here in the second half is a beautiful feed inside to Baum, and he lays it up and in as both teams come out gunning here in the second half.
And that was not a pick and roll, but that certainly kind of felt like that when you consider how open, I believe that was Baum, was inside. No one was around him as he was able to make the play.
As the Cardinals grab their third offensive rebound here in the second half, and they'll have another opportunity at the basket. St. John kicking it out to Sandville. Sandville now feeding it inside to Moore, who powers his way to the basket, and this time Baum is there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. Chatino look away pass, nearly knocked away, but a nice job that time by Baum to knock it off the Cardinals and maintain possession for the Dolphins.
And really well, both teams are running very well here to start the second half. CSI just has an extra high tempo that the Cardinals still cannot keep up with right now.
57-43, the Dolphins have opened the lead back up to 14 as Rossiter gets the inbounds pass. Rossiter driving inside, bounce pass now to Baum, back up over to Rossiter. Rossiter's floating one-hander in the lane is good. Nice move that time by Robert. He has 7, and the Dolphins open up the lead now to 16. That's their biggest of the game. But Sandville able to come right back and lay it up and in.
And really, Sandville's been the only one answering any kind of challenge here by CSI in this basketball game, obviously with the 18 points.
Sorry, Mike.
Looks like that got waved off.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good, and the foul as Rossiter is going to get the basket and draw the foul on the play, and the Dolphins with a 16-point lead and a couple of back-to-back plays by Robert Rossiter.
And he's done a nice job working inside the paint. So a chance here to get the 10 points, be the second Dolphin in the double figures today.
Rossiter's free throw is up and in, Mike, and the Dolphins have 12 points here in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half.
They've been off to a flying start so far here in the second half.
62-45. It was an offensive slugfest in the first half, and it's picking up right where it left off as St. John's three-pointer is up, no good, and Chatino there to grab the rebound. Bracic looking to feed the ball inside. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Cardinals. So Dolphins fortunate on that pass, Mike.
And to get back to a point I was looking to make about the Cardinals earlier, you know, outside of Sandville, they're not getting much help from anyone else. And if they're going to make a comeback in this game, and the way this lead continues to increase here for CSI, it's becoming less and less likely. But if they're going to make a comeback, they need to get some more help for Sandville in this game.
Yeah, so Bracic misses the three. St. John comes right back. He puts up the three-pointer, and that's no good. And Baum grabs the rebound and hands off to Chatino. Chatino crossover dribble. His floater in the lane is up, no good, but he's going to draw a foul. And I believe that will be on Sandville, and that will be his third. Second team foul for the Cardinals. So Chatino, it will be ruled a foul out on the floor. We'll get to inbound, and the Dolphins will get a fresh 30-second shot clock.
Well, it is a good thing for the Dolphins as they do get the 30. He did have Murphy open, so if he did want to go with a no-look pass, that would have been the perfect timing for that. Still, Dolphins get a new possession.
Chatino looks to feed the ball inside. Instead, it's tipped away, but Rossiter is able to retrieve for the Dolphins. Rossiter now loses the handle as the Dolphins turn the ball over, and Sandville's layup is no good, but there to tip it right up and in is Josh Perez. So Dolphins turn it over, and the Cardinals able to come back to within 15. Chatino out by the three-point line looking to work against Sandville. Now feeds it inside to Murphy. Murphy's floater is up, no good. Baum fighting for the rebound. It's going to be a whistle, and it's going to be a jump ball, and the possession arrow will go to the Cardinals. So the Dolphins turn the ball over once again, and the Cardinals will inbound the basketball now, trailing 62-47, 16 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the second half. Sandville bringing the ball up the floor now as Bracic waits to pick him up for the Dolphins. Sandville trying to use the more pick. Now he works the ball up over to Perez. He looks to feed the ball inside. The shot by Joseph is up, no good. And this time Schettino is there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins.
Good defense by Baum and Schettino to force the turnover.
Schettino works it inside to Murphy. He misses the shot, but draws the foul.
Dolphins doing a great job so far in this second half, Mike, drawing fouls on the defense of York, giving themselves opportunities either with a new shot clock or, as we see in this situation here, a chance for a one-on-one.
So Kevon Murphy will go to the free throw line here. Kevon, a 65% free throw shooter. He hits the first. He has one more, 9 points for Murphy now, as the Dolphin lead is now 63-47.
Dolphins have really done a nice job as far as the fouls are concerned in this game overall. Have only drawn 7.
Dolphins get another offensive rebound off the free throw miss. That's 2. And now we're going to have a foul called on the outside. And I believe that's going to be called on the Cardinals.
Yeah, he got a hand on Brocic, so that's what a foul was. I'm not sure which player it was myself, but it was a hand. It was a hand violation.
So the Dolphins with the basketball now is Schettino, as Cardinals turn up a little defensive intensity, and we're going to have a whistle, and that's absolutely going to be a technical foul against Sasha Kaledia, as he just shoved the Khalid Baum out of the way. And
Khalid Baum was trying to help him out.
And he's going to pick up a technical foul, and that's 2 quick fouls. He's just checked into the game, and, I don't know what he's questioning. He clearly got a little physical out on the play and picked up a well-deserved technical foul.
Absolutely, Mike. All Khalid Baum was trying to do was just trying to prop him back up because he was stumbling back into Baum, and for whatever reason, took it personal when all Baum was trying to do was help him up.
Yeah, so it's going to be free throws now for the Dolphins, and I think it's going to be two technical free throws and the ball. I believe it is what it will be for the Dolphins, as the officials are out discussing it out on the floor, as it looks like Khalid Baum will shoot the technicals. Khalid, a 72% free throw shooter, as the Dolphins have upped the lead to 16, and I think the officials explaining to both sets of coaches what's going on. And
well, I think you could even see the York players are still very much upset over the ruling, but it was an obvious call. And they're a young team, obviously, but they've got to have cooler heads in this situation. You're still in the ball game. I know right now it is a 16-point deficit right now that they are dealing with, 63-47. If you're trying to come back in this kind of game, you got to have cooler heads out there on the court.
And both teams still huddling up over by their coaches, as the Dolphins lead 63-47, and I'm not exactly sure what the delay in the game is.
Well, they're all talking to Tony Petosa right now, or the officials.
Yeah, I think that head coach Tony Petosa doesn't like the way that this ruling is going, as now Baum will come out to the free throw line and shoot technical fouls. So Baum. So it's a flagrant 1 foul as Baum goes to the free throw line and hits the first. Second free throw for Baum is up and in. So that gives the Dolphins their biggest lead of the game now. It's 18 points, 65-47.
And Claridia, who was the one who took the foul on the flagrant run, Nate now has 3 fouls against him, no points, and he just checked into this ball game. So he's had a rough start to the day.
So it'll be the Dolphins with the basketball now as at Schettino. Schettino looking to work his way inside. Schettino crossover dribble, now puts up the short jumper. That's no good. And Clarita draws the rebound now for the Cardinals. Now it's Sandville with the basketball. 18-point lead for the Dolphins. Just over 15 minutes remaining here in the second half. They work the ball in the corner. The open jumper is up. No good. Moore grabs the rebound. That's no good. And now it's Baum grabbing the rebound, and he comes down the floor 3-on-0. But he misses the slam, and you know that's something that drives head coach Tony Petosa crazy.
Absolutely. And even Kalik Baum not too happy with himself either. He wanted to finish that one off.
You got to lay the ball up and in as Baum went for the slam. He missed it, but the Dolphins fortunate as they maintain possession of the basketball. Murphy now working it out over to Schettino. Schettino driving his way inside, feeds it out over to Baum. Now it's Gavon. Gavon's running one-hander in the lane is no good, but he'll draw the foul.
And that is now the 6th foul on the Cardinals here in this second half, Mike. They had only 4 fouls the entire first half. So they have really unraveled as far as the fouls are concerned here in this second half. That's now 10 in the game overall.
So Murphy will go to the free throw line for the Dolphins. Gavon's first is up and in. And the Dolphins continue to build on their biggest lead of the afternoon as they now lead by a score of 66-47.
And if I'm Nolan Adams, the head coach for York, I would call timeout as the Dolphins rebound the miss. And that is waved off. Another foul is called inside underneath the hoop. And again, that's going to be on the Cardinals. That's now the 7th foul, Mike. They have had whistled against them here in the second half. And again, if I'm Nolan Adams, the head coach for York, I would call a timeout here after these 3 throws and try to settle my team down.
Yeah, so it'll be Murphy going back to the free throw line. And he just hit 1 of 2 from the line. He's got 10 points for the Dolphins.
Right now, Murphy with his first free throw shot. That's going to rim in, and it'll be good for a now 20-point lead for the Dolphins, 67-47.
Yeah, so Gavon continuing the Dolphins playing very well here in the second half, Mike, as they've now outscored the Cardinals 17-8, and they've opened up their lead to 21 points, 68-47.
And he's now 4 of 6 from the free throw line is Murphy tonight.
As the ball fed inside that time, and Perez makes a beautiful move to the basket and lays it up and in. But Bracic comes right back and gets behind the Cardinal defense and lays it in off a miss. And the Dolphins lead 70-49. Perez out by the three-point line. Now works the ball back to Vaughn, who's checked into the game, but his pass is stolen away and fed ahead to Baum. And Baum drives to the basket, and he misses his second consecutive layup. And now it's Perez coming away with the ball. Perez, one-hander in the lane is no good, and Baum is there to grab the rebound and just throw it away. So the Dolphins getting a little sloppy with the basketball, Mike.
A little bit. Kalik Baum having a rough couple of minutes right now. He had the attempt at the slam, missed that. Attempted a layup, missed that as well at the hoop, and then obviously throws the ball away in an ill-advised pass by him. So a couple of sloppy plays.
Then, the Dolphins had opened the lead to 21, a couple of careless plays, and, 13:45 remaining, Mike. Still plenty of time remaining in this game. So Joseph will go to the line now to shoot one as he reduces the Dolphin deficit down to 18 with 13:45 remaining here in the second half.
CSI's got to play smart here, right? For the next 13 minutes.
Schettino drives it to the lane and lays it up and in. Sorry, Mike.
No, that's perfectly all right. As Schettino does exactly what I was going to say. You want to get some quick points here. Keep some doubt in the heads of York right now.
As we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the outside, and that's going to be on the Dolphins. That will be a foul on Flag. That'll be his first. Vinny DeCunto will check into the game here for the Dolphins. As Frankie Schettino already with a double-double, Mike. 13 points, 12 assists. And he has 6 rebounds as well for the Dolphins as the Cardinals inbound the basketball and hand the ball off to Perez. Perez, 13 points on the day for the Cardinals. He drives down the lane. Good defense by the Dolphins, and Bracic comes away with the basketball. Now it's Flag. Flag behind the back dribble, and he turns the ball over. And, once again, Mike, another little bit of a careless possession for the Dolphins offensively.
And you really want to, if you're the Dolphins, continue to stay focused in this kind of game. You don't want to give a team like York, who has already in this second half displayed a lack of composure, you don't want them to feel they have a chance to get back in the basketball game.
So the Cardinals turn the ball over, and now it's DeCunto with the basketball, feeding it inside to Murphy with 15 on the shot. He drives down the lane. His shot is up, no good, and Akeem George is there to grab the rebound.
That's now 3 or 4 shots in a row we've seen by the Dolphins where they have had easy shots but missed.
And that time the miss by Vaughn, as it's DeCunto. He drives down the lane, lays it up and in, and draws the foul.
That's a great job by DeCunto, flying through the lane and getting the bucket and the foul for a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, that time Terrell Vaughn tried to get back, Mike, but he didn't have really time to set his feet as DeCunto gets his second basket of the game on just 2 shots, and he will go to the free throw line with an opportunity to make it a three-point play, and the Cardinals over the limit now. That's their 8th team foul. As DeCunto's free throw is up and in, he's got 5, and the Dolphins with their biggest lead of the afternoon. It's 23 points. Vaughn with the basketball as he brings the ball across the midcourt line now for the Cardinals. Vaughn working on DeCunto, a nice play over to Perez. Perez, a beautiful sweeping reverse layup is up and in. Perez has been the offensive answer for the Cardinals here in the second half, as he's trying to keep the Cardinals in contact with the Dolphins. Bracic pulls up, takes the long three-pointer, it's no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Kalidia. He drives down the lane, his shot's up, no good, but there to lay it up and in is Joseph. As the Dolphin lead under 20, once again, it's 19, 11:45 remaining, and we're going to have a timeout call by head coach Tony Petosa, who does not like what he's seeing on the floor here. 11 minutes, 46 seconds remaining. It's going to be a full timeout. We're going to step aside, take a break. Dolphins leading 75-56. You're watching CUNYAC basketball coverage right here on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome, I think breathtaking, and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that brand? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together. Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
We're back. 11 minutes, 46 seconds remaining here in the second half. The Dolphins have put up 25 points in the first minute, 8 minutes and 14 seconds, and they lead by 19, 75-56. DeCunto with the basketball now for the Dolphins as he brings it across the midcourt line and feeds it up over to Bracic. Now it's flagged, and we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul called on the Dolphins away from the basketball, so they turn it over once again, and just leaving the door open just a little bit here as that foul is going to be called on Spencer. That'll be his second. Murphy will check out of the game, and the Cardinals will bring the ball up across the midcourt line. Walker, Perez, his pass inside is going to be stolen away by Baum. And the Cardinals turn the ball over once again, their 9th turnover here of the afternoon.
And this is an important possession for CSI right here, Mike, as going up for the rebound rather, was Spencer. He draws the foul, but really an important possession here for CSI. You want to come away with some points here. Talked about it during the break. You know, if they cleaned up some of their missed shots they had here in this second half, right now could have, you know, conceivably 83, 84 points right now. So let's see if they can clean it up here as we move along.
Yeah, the Spencer will go to the line, and this is a big 1-and-1 here for Spencer so far this afternoon. Jade 0 for 1 from the free throw line. And he hits the first. He'll have one more. 76-56. The Dolphin lead is 20 as Spencer's second free throw is up. No good. And the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. And you know something? It'll be Cardinal basketball. I wasn't sure if that one hit the rim or not, Mike. But it doesn't matter. It will be Cardinal basketball with 11 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the second half. Walker with the basketball. As Walker brings the ball across the midcourt line, DeCunto there to pick him up for the Dolphins. And now we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul inside. I believe that's going to be on Moore, as he used the arm and got called. That's going to be his third. And now the Cardinals will be in the double bonus with 11:05 still remaining here in the second half. So the Dolphins will inbound the basketball now as we're inside 11 minutes remaining here in the second half. And the Dolphins looking to extend their winning streak to 9 consecutive and their CUNYAC unbeaten record to 12 as flags running one-hander in the lane is no good. And we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul on the Dolphins, and I believe that will be on flag as well.
Mm-hmm.
So flag will miss the shot and draw the foul. And it'll be the fourth team foul on the Dolphins, so the Cardinals will inbound the basketball as they try to get within striking distance, Mike, to make a run here in the second half.
Well, they've been in this 18 to 20-point hole for a while now, as going up and in. And a couple of missed shots there. Nice battle for the ball here as CSI coming out with it, but York just can't seem to take advantage inside the paint. They can't match the size of CSI inside.
Yeah, and that time DeCunto knocked the ball after stepping out of bounds, so the Dolphins can't grab the rebound. So it will remain Cardinal basketball. Here in the second half, the Cardinals 8 of 22 from the field. As they pass inside is knocked away by Spencer, and the Dolphins come away with the turnover. Chatino, a long cross-court pass as that pass went through the hands, and the Dolphins turn it over once again. So the Dolphins with their fifth turnover here in the second half, and the Cardinals with the basketball now as we approach the midway point here in the second half.
I think he may have traveled there, but it didn't get called.
Perez looking to work his way inside. That's no good, and now Baum controls the rebound as both teams starting to struggle a little bit offensively. Now it's DeCunto. Chatino back to DeCunto. DeCunto's open three-pointer is up, no good, and here comes Perez with the rebound. 3-on-3 break. St. John layup is up and in.
And while CSI has been cold offensively, fortunately for them, York has also been cold, and they did get the bucket there, but neither team has shot particularly well here in the second half.
18-point game as DeCunto feeds it over to Spencer. Now it's Baum. His jumper from the free throw line extended is good. Khalid Baum now 5 of 11 from the field. He's got 12 points, 8 rebounds, and the Dolphins lead by 20 once again. Perez thought about the three. Now he takes it. It's no good. And Baum grabs the rebound for the Dolphins, his 9th of the game. Chatino. Now it's DeCunto with the basketball. Bounce pass goes to Spencer. Spencer working his way inside. His shot's going to be blocked away. And we're going to have a whistle and a late foul called on the play. And that'll be a foul on the Cardinals. And that will send Spencer back to the free throw line to shoot 2. So Moore will pick up the foul. That will be his 4th. I believe that's the first play to 4. As the first free throw is up and in. Very limited playing time here for Sandville in the second half for the Cardinals.
Which is kind of surprising in a lot of ways, considering he's been their best scorer on the floor so far today. So they really could use him.
As Spencer hits both of his free throws, and 9 minutes remaining, and if the Cardinals are going to make any kind of run, Mike, they got to basically shut the Dolphins down defensively and score on almost every offensive possession.
Well, they really have to, and it's becoming harder and harder for them to do that. They've been so inconsistent offensively here today against much more experienced and much bigger CSI basketball team.
Good defensive play by Baum. First on the shot, then to grab the rebound. Khalid now with a double-double here this afternoon. The second Dolphin with a double-double. Baum working his way inside, laying it up and in and drawing the foul, and that could be the final nail, Mike, in the Cardinal coffin here this afternoon.
I mean, we've seen a Cardinal team come out here in the second half. They really showed little composure, drawing 8 very fast fouls, put the Dolphins in the bonus. Now you're in a situation where basically any kind of foul is going to put the Dolphins at the free throw line. One of their best free throw shooters now, and Khalid Bam taking some shots. He hits the first on the 1-on-1. So 83-58, it's starting to look more and more likely, like we're looking at a 12th straight win for the Dolphins inside the conference.
15 points, 10 rebounds now for Khalid Baum, as Dolphins really turning up the defensive intensity here in the second half against the Cardinals. They've outscored the Cardinals now 33-19.
They're forcing the Cardinals to take outside shots, and the Cardinals want to work inside, but every time they try to work inside, there's either Khalid Baum or a Stephen Flagg or even a Kevion Murphy when he was in the game.
Yeah, nice pass that time inside to Spencer, but he misses the shot. And now it'll be the Cardinals with the basketball as Sandville looks to check back in. Is taking it to the basket as Joseph. He lays it up and in and draws the foul. So Gene Joseph gets the basket. Now he's got 16 points, and Sandville will check back in for the Cardinals. Kevon Murphy will check back in for the Dolphins. It's an 83-60 Dolphin lead. 7 minutes, 45 seconds remaining here in the second half. And, you know, Mike, about a half hour after the conclusion of this game, we'll be right back in action as the women will come back in action, very heavily favored against York College.
And the women playing good basketball themselves. They, too, have been on a winning streak and playing great basketball in conference, whereas York, on the women's side, has also been struggling, much like the men.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, the women coming off of that huge win against Baruch College. Baruch, the only team that blemished the Dolphins on the women's side here this year. When the Dolphins lost that home game here, Dolphins doing a nice job bouncing back and winning that game. And, you know, we'll talk about it later, but the Dolphins currently sitting on top of the women's table.
And they really are. Really, both of these teams are putting themselves in a great position, as we talked about it in the start of this broadcast today, to put themselves in a position where they could go right to the semifinals and not have to worry about the first two legs of the tournament. And that's so important for a team that wants to get a little rest and put themselves in a position to win a championship.
As Khalid Baum goes to the line, he misses the first. He'll have one more remaining, 7 minutes, 29 seconds. And, you know, Mike, it's been a game where the Dolphins have shot very well from the field the entire afternoon. They're shooting 56% from the field, 50% from the three-point line, and then they miss a couple of free throws. But they do lead by 22 as the Cardinals trying to see if they can get back and make this a game here in the last couple of minutes. They need baskets, and Joseph gets them just what they need.
And they need that, and they need more of that. Not to mention they need to stop right here. They're going to have any prayer of getting back into this game.
20 points now for Joseph, as now it's Schettino taking the ball inside. He kicks it to an open Bracic. His three-pointer is up, no good. And that's what the Cardinals need, is it's Joseph. Joseph driving the ball to the basket and laying it up and in, and he's got 5 quick points. And just like that, Mike, it's only a 17-point game. And right. Coach Petosa does not like what he sees. And
that's a good timeout.
It's a timeout that the Dolphins need. It's a full timeout. So we'll step aside, take a break. 6 minutes, 46 seconds remaining here in the second half. 83-66 the score. You're watching men's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The #1 goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community
and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Just when we're getting ready to put this one to bed, the York Cardinals go on to an 8-0 run, and they've cut the Dolphin lead down to 83-66 with 6 minutes and 47 seconds remaining here in the second half. It's been John Joseph who has been scoring the last 6 points here for the Cardinals, or the last 8, I should say, as the Cardinals have cut it down to 17.
Yeah, he has really lit a fire under this team for York. Hit a big three-pointer in there as well.
As Schettino feeds it up over to Baum. Now back up over to Schettino. Cross-court pass to Bracic. He feeds it inside to Murphy, who took a hit, didn't draw the foul, but laid it up and in to give the Dolphins a 19-point lead and break that 8-0 run.
And that was a very important timeout that Tony Petosa called, a full timeout. Try to get this team righted after giving up 8 straight points. Game was getting a little bit too close for comfort, and right now the Dolphins trying to answer, and Kevion Murphy will draw the foul on the slap.
Yeah, so that time St. John gets his second basket of the game, but Kevion Murphy comes right back, misses the layup, but draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line as that foul is going to be called on Akeem George, the freshman. It will be his first, and now Murphy will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Murphy's first free throw is up and no good, so Dolphins have missed their last few attempts here from the free throw line. They're now 12 of 17 in the second half, make that 12 of 18, but I think this is the 4th time, Mike, as the shot clock didn't reset. I think this is the 4th time since the end of the first half that the Dolphins grabbed an offensive rebound off of a missed free throw. So the Cardinals not doing a good job boxing out, and it really cost them, Mike, because they were just down by 17 and they gave away a possession to the Dolphins. Flag with the basketball. Now Bracic over to Schettino. Now it's Murphy. Murphy trying to work his way inside. He feeds it to Baum, whose free throw jumper is good. Baum now 7 of 13, 17 points,
nice
12
job by
rebounds.
Sorry there, Mike, but Bracic did a nice job. He stole the pass by the Cardinals and put it in for 2.
Big swing there for the Dolphins as they now lead by 19 as we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Dolphins. That's just going to be their 16th foul, so the Cardinals will have to inbound. And York's going to look back at this game, Mike, and kick themselves. They had a couple of missed opportunities here where they could have made this a much closer game.
They really could have. And, I don't know where Sandoval disappeared to, but he hasn't been on the court for a while. Certainly hasn't had an impact in the game. He's on the court now, hasn't had an impact in the game in a long time. 18 points. It's been Joseph who's done the job in the second half, but they really unraveled, in my mind, that did York at the start of that second half when they had a chance to do something, and CSI just dominated, took advantage of those mistakes by York, and has dominated this game throughout.
Schettino feeds the ball inside to Murphy. Murphy's been a force inside, but he can't hit that one. But now Bracic feeds it into Murphy. He misses 2 in a row, and here come the Cardinals with the basketball looking to run. Joseph fights his way down the lane. They missed the shot, missed the putback, and now it's Schettino for the Dolphins. Schettino, a beautiful feed inside to Flag, who misses the layup, but draws the foul.
And CSI well on their way, obviously, to their 12th win in conference. They'll be 12-0 in conference, Mike. And as we talked about just before we came out of halftime, that once they get to that 12th win, pretty much assure themselves at least a spot in the top 2.
Yeah, and with their record going up to 12-0 here this afternoon, the Dolphins, still with just under 5 minutes remaining, have opened the lead back up to 22 points. And next game for the Dolphins, Mike, is going to be Tuesday night against a Medgar Evers team, and then we'll be right back here next Saturday against Hunter College. So, a couple of CUNYAC games coming up for the Dolphins, and if the Dolphins can extend their record to 12-0 in the conference, and it certainly looks like they're going to do that here this afternoon, they've really put themselves in a dominant position inside the CUNYAC Conference.
Really have, and this is a conference that still has a number of teams that are always going to be difficult, like a Baruch, like a Lehman College, teams that are going to be in that tournament, and you got to be ready to play your best basketball when the Dolphins do see those teams at that point. Of course, they will see Lehman before the regular season ends.
And
last game of the regular season.
Mike, as we're going to have a whistle and a tough foul called on the Dolphins, that will lead to a couple of York College free throws, but the CUNYAC tournament gets underway February 17th, as that's where the number 5 will play the number 8 team and the number 6 will play number 7. The 3 and 4 seeds wait for the winner of those opening round games, and those games will be February 19th. And then February 22nd, the semifinals will take place at CCNY. And Mike, with a win here this afternoon and the Dolphins 4 games ahead of the field with just 4 games remaining, it would take a miracle to prevent the Dolphins from winning this regular season CUNYAC championship and, really put themselves in good position. It means nothing more than getting right to the semifinals. But again, to avoid those 2 opening round games, Mike, is just so huge.
And it's a conference that, even though you look at it on paper, you say, maybe it's a down year for the conference. So many teams under 500, but not the case. These are a lot of good, talented teams. An upset can happen at any time. We have seen it ourselves with our own 2 eyes here at the Sports and Recreation Center. So, in order to avoid some of these teams on upset alert in the first couple of rounds of the playoffs, it's so huge.
It really is, Mike. And these teams are so evenly matched that we've seen 8 beat 1. So you know that to the extent that you play well in the regular season, you really get rewarded now in the CUNYAC Conference as the Dolphins get the ball off the turnover. And now it's Schettino with the basketball for the Dolphins. Now to Taylor. He gets it up over to Rossiter, bounce pass to Bracic. Bracic cross-court pass back up over to Taylor. And now, Mike, with under 4 minutes remaining, the Dolphins can afford to run shot clock as we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul over the back. I believe that will be on Taylor. For Christian, that will be his first foul of the afternoon. The Dolphins over the limit, and that's something you don't need, Mike, if you're the Dolphins, because that stops the clock and sends the Cardinals to the free throw line.
And you want to keep that clock moving as much as you can. Now, York has inserted its backup players into the game. All the starters are out of the game, but still, you never want to give anything to chance. Give Nolan Adams a reason to bring in some of his big shooters back into the game.
As the free throw is up and in.
And this is Paramir Singh, as he is the one at the free throw line. He is a 46% free throw shooter.
So Singh able to step up and hit both shots. It's his first 2 points of the game. And, Mike, at this point in the game, it's more important to run shot clock than get shots.
Absolutely right, Mike.
Schettino gets the ball out over to Rossiter. Schettino just 2 rebounds short of a triple-double as Rossiter able to get that one up and in. Nice game for Robert here this afternoon, Mike. He has 12.
He has 12. Five offensive players for CSI, all in double figures today, led by Bowen with 17.
As the look-away pass inside as the Cardinals work the ball back, and putting up the long 3-pointer is Walker, and that's good. As York cuts the Dolphin lead down inside of 20, but just 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the second half.
Really critical 3 minutes here for CSI. You just want to finish the game strong and make sure that York does not, even though it's really unlikely right now, have any chance to come back, as Christensen now joins the party in double figures. He now, with a big 2-pointer, gives him 10.
So the Dolphins now look to get back defensively. They lead by 23 points as Walker feeding the ball up over to Claridia as his jumper is good. As the clock continues to run now, 2 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the game, and the Dolphins lead 97-76.
I stand corrected. That was Bracic, so he has now 15. So
Schettino with the basketball. Schettino crossover dribble as he fakes handing it off to Rossiter, now drives his way inside, feeds it to a wide-open Bracic, who lays it up and in, and the Dolphins will have a substitution timeout with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, Mike, as Dolphins continue their red-hot play. They're going to win their 9th game in a row, and we're going to have a whistle and a timeout. But good game for the Dolphins here this afternoon, Mike. They played against a York College team that had been playing pretty well. So we'll why don't we just keep it right here with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this game. And, you know, Mike, a good effort for the Dolphins in their first game on their home floor in 2 weeks.
It really is. And the offensive prowess of this team continues to be very apparent. I mean, this is the second time this season already, second time even this month where they've scored 99 points. And first time this year they're going to score 100 points in a game. I can't remember the last time we scored 100 points in a game. You probably, I don't know if you do, but it's been quite some time. So what this team has been able to do offensively really has to be talked about, because everybody collectively is playing very, very well, and they're all playing very well as a unit. It isn't just one guy, as in Frank Schettino, who has been the headline, deservingly so. But look what Khalid Bama's done today, 7 out of 13 shooting today, 17 points. Eden Bracic contributing 17 points. And even those who maybe don't get a lot of playing time, Christian Taylor with 8 points today. Spencer has 7, Flag with 6. Everybody has contributed in some fashion.
Yeah, real good balanced play for the Dolphins, as Darryl Bryant's going to check into the game for the first time for the Dolphins here this afternoon, and that's a little surprising. Darryl had been playing very well, and you know the Dolphins are really playing very well as a team, Mike, as Singh will draw the foul, and he'll go back to the free throw line to shoot 2. But, you know, that's the thing with this Dolphin team here in 2017. They've been playing very well as a team, and they've really played good defense the entire season long.
Now let me ask you this question, because I know it's thinking down the road, and obviously this team has to go through the tournament first. You have to win the tournament first. But, you know, we were talking about this during the Tournament of Heroes, about how important these conference games would be to just give this team a chance, possibly look at the NCAAs. What would they be right now if that were to be a case?
Well, you know, Mike, it's certainly a situation where the Dolphins would be one of the lower-ranked teams in that tournament and would have a lot of work to do. But, you know, we've seen in the Tournament of Heroes, we've seen in other games, non-conference games for the Dolphins, that this Dolphin team has played very well against some of the best teams in the country. And, you know, they've gone into halftime with leads in several of the games that they've actually lost. So, you know, you like to see the Dolphins. Certainly a long way to go before you can even get anywhere near that conversation. And, you know, it's hard to believe, but this is a CSI Dolphin team, Mike, that hasn't won the CUNYAC tournament since 2013. So a lot of work to do for the Dolphins before you can get anywhere near that conversation. But you certainly like what you've seen from the Dolphins playing out of conference here all season long.
Absolutely true.
1 minute, 20 seconds remaining here in the game. Dolphins with a 19-point lead. They're going to advance their conference record to 12-0 and win their 9th consecutive game as Taylor comes out and guards against Singh. And, you know, Mike, the Dolphins shooting nearly over 66% from the field here this afternoon. 50 points in the first half. Very balanced scoring throughout the team here as we're inside of 1 minute remaining in the game. And, you know, the Dolphins will get ready to play a very good Medgar Evers team as Bryant will miss the layup and draw the foul. And, you know, the Dolphins will get ready for Medgar Evers as, you know, Medgar Evers coming in with a 2-8 record in the conference coming into today's action. And, you know, Dolphins really putting themselves in the catbird position. And with a win against Medgar Evers on Tuesday, I know that will mathematically lock up the conference, because that would make them 13-0, and they're a minimum of 4 games ahead of every team.
That's true. And you can take a look at the standings right now, 3.5 up on Baruch, so that would pretty much do it.
Yeah, you know, it's the Dolphins beaten Baruch twice, so it's really 4.
4-game lead, yeah.
So Baruch, you know, is really almost playing for second place as Cardinals tightening up the game a little bit as Taylor triple team. Now the Dolphins get the ball to DeCunto. He'll feed it ahead to Bryant, and there's just be a 6-second differential on the game clock and the shot clock.
Well, York doesn't want to give up 100 points in the game. That's part of it.
Brocic with the basketball. Now it's Taylor. Dolphins in no hurry to shoot as they have 8 seconds on the shot clock. Now it's DeCunto. DeCunto with 4. They work the ball up over to Taylor. He puts up the long jumper. That's going to be no good. Baum will be there to grab the rebound, and we'll have a whistle and a foul, and that will send Baum to the free throw line. And if he can hit one of these two, Mike, the Dolphins will get to 100.
There will not be fireworks coming out of the out of the scoreboard when they hit 100, correct? I don't think so.
So that foul will send Khalid Baum to the free throw line. Baum, another very good game for the Dolphins here this afternoon. The senior with 17 points, 13 rebounds.
And also with that foul, clarity of fouls out.
As Baum's first free throw is up and in, and the Dolphins get to 100. They lead 100 to 84. 4.9 seconds remaining in this game. With this win here this afternoon, the Dolphins really will lock up one of the 2 top seeds as Singh puts up the long shot, and that's going to do it. The game is over. The College of Staten Island, Mike, wins their 9th in a row, 12-0 in the conference as they beat York 101 to 84.
Really a solid performance overall by the Dolphins. As we talked about throughout this broadcast, Mike, everybody contributing offensively for CSI as they get over 100 points in a game for the first time this year. Nothing you can say that we haven't said already. This is an impressive group, an impressive team, and they're coming together as a team really at the right time of the year as we start to make the move towards February.
Yeah, you know, Mike, they really continue to play good, solid basketball. It was a game here this afternoon that, you know, there was very little doubt that the Dolphins were going to be able to come out ahead. York did a nice job, especially earlier in the game, to keep this game close, but, you know, just too much balance from the CSI Dolphin team, and, you know, a lot of veteran leadership. Their 2 best players, Frankie Scittino, Khalid Baum, playing very well, and, you know, Dolphins getting balanced scoring, double-digit scoring from 5 different players.
5 different players led by Khalid Baum, who had 19, Brocic with 17, Frank Scittino, who had those 2 great games in a row as far as points scored. Kind of a quiet day for him, only 13 points, but he did have 13 assists and 8 boards. Very good showing for him, really a good showing for the Dolphins overall, who shot 56%, compared to a very young York team that I thought at one point in this game, Mike, really lost a lot of composure early on in that second half as they drew 7 very quick fouls, and that really set the tone for the second half of CSI roll.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins got hot early in the game, Mike, and they were able to pull out to a double-digit lead. And, you know, once the Dolphins were able to get it up to double digits, Mike, when they extended their lead to 35-25, the Cardinals were never able to get back to within 10.
No, they were never able to get back to within 10, and that was the biggest difference in the game right there. Really was the turning point when CSI was able to recover from that run that they had by Joseph, where he had 8 straight points, and it looked like York was going to get themselves back into the game. Then CSI called the timeout, came back, and they started to get back on track again.
So that's going to do it here. The College of Staten Island able to defeat York College and extend their winning streak to 9 consecutive games, and they're undefeated in conference play. So what we're going to do is we're going to step aside. We're going to go off the air for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back to get you ready for the women's game, the 3rd game of our triple header here this afternoon, as the College of Staten Island maintains their unbeaten streak in the conference, and they've wrapped up one of the 2 top positions as they defeat York College here this afternoon. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes to bring you women's basketball action right here on CSI Sportsnet.